every American drinks enough water. In fact, Catherine Watson, a writer for Healthline, notes that a lot of Americans live in a constant state of dehydration, or what she defines as chronic dehydration. This is important because chronic dehydration, as she defines, is when you have actually hit the point where a glass of water isn't going to fix the problem. Now, Nicole Pager, a HuffPost contributor, talks about how statistically 75% of Americans are not drinking enough water and are constantly dehydrated. This is important to me because as a college student, being on top of your toes and knowing all of this information can definitely impact your life. As I've researched over 20 medically reviewed resources, I've found that water is not only important to me, but it's important to every college student out there, and it's important to my family and friends. And so that's why today I will try to persuade you to drink more water by first telling you about how chronic dehydration can actually cause medical problems. I'm going to offer an alternative solution, and then I'm going to help you visualize why my solution is important to you. So first, on to the problem. Chronic dehydration from not drinking enough water is actually causing health problems. So Nicole Pager tells a story about a woman named Kim Shifran. She is 35 years old and she's just out skiing with her family, but she feels a little sick. On her way back to the hotel, she ends up passing out and ends up going to the hospital with a diagnosis for dehydration. Now, she had no idea. She didn't even feel dehydration, but if she doesn't stop and doesn't start drinking more water and she continues on her path, it could be more serious, and here is how. First off, I'm going to talk about how multiple health problems can arise by not drinking enough water. In fact, the Kidney Foundation found by not drinking enough water, you can actually cause permanent kidney damage. This is because when kidneys are actually taking out the waste out of your body by pushing those fluids through, because you're not pushing fluids in, you're actually absorbing those wastes, and those wastes can cause things like kidney stones and permanent kidney damage. On top of that, Catherine Watson notes that it can also cause permanent liver damage and permanent intestinal damage, both of which are problems. Next, chronic dehydration can also cause mental stress. Now, as a college student, I think we all know that stress is a main contributor to a lot of our problems. However, Denise Griswold, who is a defined counselor, found that dehydration can cause your hormones in your body to not properly function. This is just with a 2% decrease in dehydration. She found with a larger increase that people were experiencing stress hormones that were causing anxiety and even depression. With these hormones dropping, you can't really think properly, and that's why my last point in my problem is that dehydration limits brain capacity. The Harvard School of Public Health found in 2015 that in just a 1% dehydration, cognitive abilities were actually dropping. In fact, Harvard also found that in mild cases of students who didn't drink enough water, they weren't able to sleep properly and they weren't able to get through their classes properly as well. However, Joe Leach found in severe cases that dementia and other permanent damage to your brain were prevalent. In my audience survey, 60% of students noted that they felt thirsty throughout the day. A major symptom of dehydration is the feeling of thirst, or the urge of thirst. Your body has gotten to that point where, hey, it needs a drink. 100% of my students noted that experience with thirst has been prevalent in their life. Where I had mentioned before, Harvard found that just a small percent of dehydration can cause cognitive issues. You're going to find that just that small percentage of thirst is already going to cause you issues. And that's why I want to offer the solutions. However, the main solution is that just stop drinking any sodas, caffeinated drinks, sugary drinks, and that'll solve the problem. I disagree with this. I don't think that it is the best solution because first off, juices can provide great vitamins, like orange juice provides vitamin C that you can't get anywhere. On top of that, Don McKean, a writer for New York Times, found that coffee actually provides antioxidants and it can boost your metabolism in the morning. Of course, taken in small doses. But the government, a CDC governmental website, found that soda and juices and coffees and caffeinated drinks aren't actually the biggest issue here. It's that people aren't drinking enough. And that's why I want to introduce you to my alternative solution, which is just increase your water to 64 ounces a day, and it's easier, and here's why. In just one small soda, you already get 12 ounces of water. Drink 6 of them, you've already hit your goal of 64 ounces a day. Or you can do what Melody Kaufman, who has a master's in food science, states, and that's just drink 3.5 water bottles a day. Now, if you don't want to sit here and track how much water you're drinking, you think this is just too hard, you can also do what Joe Leach mentions, who is a writer for Healthline, and he says just to drink at every meal and every single snack, and you're bound to hit that 64 ounces a day. So you can still enjoy your favorite drink, but you've got to increase your water. And if it's the taste of water that's your problem, and that's really the big issue here, Melody Kaufman mentions that if you add water or mint to your drink, you're going to be seeing a huge flavor burst that can help you out, and you'll still get the water that you need, and you'll get other nutrients as well. My solution is effective because by drinking more water and increasing it to 64 ounces, you're going to get a huge energy burst. Joe Leach found that in a study where a decrease in 2% of dehydration was prevalent in Americans, that they were exhausted and they weren't able to do the tasks that they were willing to do. On top of that, the government found that dehydration causes faintness and it causes exhaustion. So if you drink more water and increase it to where you're not going to be chronically dehydrated, you're going to be giving yourself the energy you need to be able to get through the day. On top of it, Joe Leach mentions how it can actually prevent headaches. Now, I know as a student, and of course through my survey, that every single person mentioned, except one, mentioned that they experience headaches in their life. And 99% of the students mentioned that they experience headaches frequently. So if you increase your water, you're going to be reducing the stress caused on your body from not drinking enough, and you're going to be able to help prevent and reduce the frequency of headaches in your life. However, still people may not believe what I've said today, and they say that, I don't have enough time. In fact, a lot of the people who answered my survey noted that they don't have a lot of time in their life, that they have work, they have school, they have kids, and these things are taking up their time. 100% of you noted that you love to enjoy juices, sodas, and only 2 people said that they like to enjoy water throughout the week. That means a large portion of you have the time to take out your favorite drink and go through that time. So that's why it's not an excuse. Lack of free time will never be an excuse because it may be a pain, but it's necessary. Now, Cheryl Solomon found that 500,000 Americans end up in the hospital each year because of dehydration. Of that 500,000, 2% end up dying because it's fatal. If you continue on your path and you choose that I don't have the time to drink this juice, you could continue to be on that path of fatality, and that's why it's not a good idea to not drink enough water. Again, every person mentioned they have time to drink their favorite drinks. However, if you still don't believe me now, of all the students I surveyed, they also talked about how they love drinking their favorite drinks throughout the week. So they're putting all that energy into it, and Joe Leach says by drinking more water, you're going to have more energy. So if you just start drinking more water, you'll have more energy to do things. And so it's absurd to assume that because you don't have a lot of time, that you don't have the capacity to drink water. So if you have time to drink your juices, you have time to drink water. If you have time to drink alcohol, you have time to drink water. You could just ignore everything I've said today. And that's why I'm going to talk about my final point. Just imagine if you ignore what I told you today. You could end up in a very tough path. You'll still have stress headaches. You'll still be exhausted all the time. And then you'll have a large amount of medical bills you're going to have to pay. And it could be fatal. You're going to have to pay for all the kidney problems you're going to have. You're going to have to pay for all the liver issues. And you can say, well, I'll have insurance because I'm in college and I'm going to get a great job. That's great, but there's still co-pays. And it could actually put a weight on you when you're trying to retire. Or you could listen to what I said and you can increase your water to 64 ounces a day. This will give you the energy you need to keep up with your family. This will help you keep up with college and finals week. And on top of it, you won't have to worry about permanent damage to your brain like dementia, and you won't have to worry about those medical bills. But most importantly, you will have control of your health. So in conclusion, I've tried to persuade you to drink more water. I've done this by showing you that chronic dehydration from not drinking enough water causes health issues. I've showed you a simple solution just by increasing 64 ounces, you can solve your chronic dehydration. And then I've showed you how you can take control of your health. So take action today. Buy a water bottle, drink enough water, be wise, and drink the water you need to keep your health up.